What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Film Study for Rookies. Today, man, we're going to talk about Sauce Gardner. And not only talk about, the contract extension he got, but also look at the film against probably the best receiver in the NFL, seeing how he matched up with him, man. Let's get into it. So, Jets cornerback Sauce Gardner agreed to terms on a 4-year, $120.4 million contract extension. Now, what does all this mean? Sauce Gardner will embark on his fourth season with the Jets. Many more expected in his future. Well, I hope so, since he just signed that big extension, right? So, the former fourth overall pick, man, in the 2022 NFL Draft agreed to terms on a 4-year, $120 million deal with the New York Jets, all right, including $60 million in new money guarantees. Ooh, okay, 60. I thought it might be higher, to be honest with you, but 60, kind of on pace to the NFL. All right, NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, Tom P., and Mike G. reported Tuesday. At an average of $30 million per year, Sauce becomes the highest paid corner in NFL history with this new contract, which locks him in through 2030. So, for the next 5 years, Sauce is a New York Jet, right? So, Gardner burst onto the scene as a rookie, leading the NFL in passes defended 20 and earning Defensive Rookie of the Year honors in runaway fashion, while also garnering some Defensive Player of the Year votes in the process. He was named a first-team All-Pro in each of his first 2 seasons. Gardner becomes the second member of the Jets' 2022 draft class, signed a 4-year extension worth at least $120 million, joining Mr. Receiver Garrett Wilson. We already did a video on him with film included. Go check that one out, right? So, the 10th overall pick in 2022 in that group. Both rank in the top 5 in average annual value at their positions. This tells me one thing, right? The Jets, man. The Jets, I guess the last few years, they've drafted pretty well, right? That 2022 class, probably one of the best I would think in their franchise history. Let's finish this article up, and then we're going to look at some film. So, goes on to say, Sauce, he deserves the money, and we'll see how he does for the new head coach, Aaron Glenn. All right, that's all fine and dandy. But now I believe it's time for some film against Mr. Justin Jefferson. Now, the first player we're going to look at right here, all right, you're going to have Sauce top of your screen. Jefferson gets him, all right, at the stem, but Sauce recovers nicely. Let's break it down real quick. Now, top, you're going to have Justin Jefferson, a little push right there, create a little bit of separation, but Sauce recovers nicely. Now, if you're wondering, okay, the first play, why did I show Jefferson kind of beating Sauce right at the top of the route? Because I want to keep it real and authentic, right? Sauce Gardner going against Justin Jefferson. Sauce isn't going to win every time, and Justin isn't going to win every time. So I watched the film. This was the only play where really Justin beat him, right? And really anybody on the Vikings offense beat Sauce one-on-one. The rest, you're in for a treat, man. Let's jump to play number 2 right here. So play number 2, you're going to see Sauce, all right, top of your screen right here, hips kind of open, single highest safety look, potentially cover 3, but let's take a look what happens right here. All right, little bubble screen right there from the Vikings, in Sauce causing a fumble. Like I said, there was some but then you got Sauce right here, man, on the bubble screen, and this is huge for the Vikings, right? Because if Justin Jefferson could make Sauce miss, I mean, he might be gone low-key. Justin Jefferson has the speed, but Sauce right there, bang. And the other thing I like to watch right here is how fast Sauce breaks, right? So, like I said, potentially in a cover 3, right, pre-snap. So he's going to backpedal, I think. Yes. He backpedals for like a quarter of a second, right? A quarter of a second, and then look at him break. Ooh, you got to love that. That's just play number 2. Let's take a look at the next one. I have Sauce actually in the slot, all right underneath the arrow right here. So we saw him play outside. This time he's playing in the slot. And what I love right here is how fast, once again, he's going to break on the ball. Now, QB's going to do a great job, right? Essentially, the Vikings, they're going to run a mesh underneath, I believe, right? Let's take a look real quick. So essentially, we're going to have like a mesh right here, right? Go underneath, over the top. What I love about this play is Sauce right here, right? Playing in the slot. He's going to drop back, and he's reading the quarterback's eyes, but also watching underneath. And once again, watch how fast he breaks. Now, yes, QB is going to go underneath on that mesh concept, but just watching Sauce and how fast he reacts and breaks on the ball, man. Whoo! Even playing in the slot. Let's keep it going. Next, we're going to look at, all right, Sauce, all right, outside DB once again. Jets look to be in what, a cover 2, maybe a cover 3 backside man-to-man. Now, Sauce isn't going to be the factor on this play, right? Essentially, the Vikings go underneath. But what I want you guys to look at right here is, remember what I said, looks like potentially cover 2 look. Most slot guys are going to turn on the burners, right? QB, he's going to light it up over the top. To a point, right? Because he also, I believe, has Justin Jefferson underneath. But you're going to watch Sauce right here. He's potentially going to let the QB think that receiver's open, and then he's going to close right there. Now, yes, he doesn't make the tackle, but I love how he plays, right? Because he essentially will bait the quarterback without actually putting himself at risk. There's a lot of DBs, and not as much anymore, right? Because now we're in a league where we're dropping everybody back, cover 2, cover 4, 15 yards for the DBs alone back, 30 yards for the safeties. But before, a lot of DBs would take a chance. But Sauce, man, he takes a chance but doesn't compromise his own position. Let's keep it going. Next play we're going to look at, you're going to have Sauce and Justin Jefferson right there. Now you're going to see he's going to give Justin Jefferson inside release, but it doesn't matter, right? Justin Jefferson, he never really gets a step on him, right? Run that back real quick. So I believe we got Sam Darnold at quarterback right here, all right? Even at the top, Sauce is right there, right? Unless Darnold were to make a perfect throw, and even then you got a linebacker over the top right there, Justin Jefferson's not getting open. So even giving him inside release, take a look at this. Right, and Justin Jefferson, once again, you see the top of the route. He's going to try and do a little push-off right here. Take a look. It's a little push-off, slash a nice break. But Sauce is right there with it, right? And like I showed you guys at the beginning of the video, I would put in place if Justin Jefferson or anybody else completely beat him. But it just didn't happen, right? Right here, it's 4th and 2. Let's take a look what happens. You're going to have Sauce right here, bottom of your screen with Justin Jefferson. Now, even with Sauce right here on Justin Jefferson one-on-one, there's still a safety. Now, watch right here, bottom of your screen. All right, a little stop and go, a little hezzy. Sauce is right there on it. Now, obviously, it helps to have a safety, right? You can kind of play that trail technique, knowing you have help over the top, right? But even if the quarterback were to throw a fade route potentially, safety may not play the fade, but Sauce is right there. And honestly, let's take a look real quick. All right, QB, he draws a safety over there. He gets the one-on-one. I'm shocked, Darnold, I know this is a film about Sauce, but is it crazy to think that Darnold should have tried to pull the safety this way, right, and tried, Justin Jefferson one-on-one right there? I mean, I get what he's doing, but on 4th and 2, I don't know about that one, man. That being said, this right here is going to be our last play. All right, Sauce once again on JJ. Take a look what happens right here. JJ tries to freeze him at the top of the route, and Sauce is all over that, man. Take a look right here. All right, JJ, he's going to try and freeze him. Take a look. Almost that slow play, right? Try and see if I can kind of control where he's going to go next. Sauce, nice little press right there, right? Inside arm, extend it. He's going to press him. Completely throw Justin Jefferson off, right? And then Sauce is right there on it. I mean, the money speaks for itself, right? So this is Sauce going against arguably number 1, number 2, or number 3 receiver in the NFL, depending on where you want to put him or who you put above him. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, enjoyed the content. Stay tuned, more content coming soon. Film Study for Rookies is out. Peace.